Here are some suggestions to succeed in Math 1524. On our course website, we have the online text, we have lectures, which are listed as supplementary lectures, and there's a link to the practice problems. That's your homework. On the Canvas site, there are some videos of commonly missed problems. Those are labeled as help sessions. To get to those, you click on Assignments and then look for the help session that you'd like to watch. Be sure to keep up with your deadlines. You can see your deadlines on the schedule page on our course website, or you can log into the quiz and test system. Both the website and the Canvas page have announcements kind of warning you of some of the upcoming deadlines. Try to find some combination of resources that work for you. If you've been successful in the past by watching lectures, taking notes from a textbook, and doing homework, then try that out first. If you're not getting the results that you'd like to see, change what you're doing. Take charge of your learning. Maybe you need to do more practice problems. Maybe you need to be more organized in taking your notes. Study over several days rather than in marathon sessions. I usually recommend that students work on Math 1524 for 8 to 12 hours a week. You don't want to do those hours all in one day. Nobody, not even people who love mathematics, want to do mathematics for 8 solid hours. It's stressful and you won't remember anything. Instead, if you can spread that over 4 days and do maybe a couple hours a day, it's not so bad, and you'll retain things longer. When you are doing a study session, vary your activities. You want to do maybe 20 minutes in the textbook, 20 minutes watching lectures, 20 minutes doing practice problems. Try to keep organized notes and keep up with the problem codes. For example, if a problem is coded 2.1.3a at the top, there's probably some formula or some example in that section in the textbook that has to do with that practice problem. You can use your notes this semester, so keeping up with the problem codes and making notes about the problem types will really be to your benefit. Be sure to ask questions when you have them. You can connect with the peer tutors during 11 to 6 Monday through Friday. The link is in the practice problem system. You can come to my Zoom office hours. The link to that is in Canvas. And the Student Success Center has tutors and help sessions. Try to do some practice problems every day. If we were meeting in a classroom, we would probably be meeting 4 days a week. And every day you'd have homework. So try to do some problems, some homework every day. If you encounter a practice problem from a section you haven't studied yet, click Next Random Problem until you get to one of the codes you have studied. You can get help on the ones you need help with, and then do another like this until you've really mastered each problem type. You can also mark a problem in the practice problems so that you can come back to it later. For example, if you're studying one evening and you encounter a problem that you just have no idea how to do, mark it and then connect with a peer tutor the next day. How much practice should you do? Well, we have done extensive analysis comparing the number of practice problems that students do correctly versus their final course average. You'll find that there are always these irritating people that get away with maybe doing no problems and they still get an A in the course. Okay, we're not talking about them. We're talking about actual effort. That tends to pay off in this course. You can see there's definitely a trend line upward relating the number of practice problems a student does with their final course average. And just as a general rule, we found that the average number of correct problems that a student who got A's did before that they took a quiz was 40. That was just a general, they did 40 problems correct before they took a quiz. That's just an average. People who got B's tended to do about 35, and then C's around 29. So these are problems that were done correctly before they took their quiz. So that's just a general guideline. As far as constructing your schedule, are you trying to learn all of your quiz material right before the quiz deadline? We know that's a bad idea. Plan on doing your learning days in advance of a review, then take your assessment. That is especially true for your exams. Since you can take exams 1 through 5 twice if you want, now you don't have to take them twice, you can take them once, but if you wanted to take them twice and you're working a week ahead, you can actually do your exam, and then if you don't do as well as you'd hoped, you have time to study before you take it the second time. Is your schedule built in response to deadlines, or are you making your own schedule? If you're a week ahead or more, you can schedule your time however you'd like. It's way less stressful if you're ahead. There's a grade estimator on our website. It's an Excel spreadsheet, and you can see your grades in 2 different places. One is the quiz and test system. At the top of the page, it should say Review Graded Work. You can see all of your grades there. There's also a student application, but within the student application, there are some lab grades that may not be listed yet. The quiz and test system shows you your results immediately. Put those scores into the grade estimator exactly as you have them, and that should tell you your average in the course. It will also give you an opportunity to plug in some possible scenarios and see what you need on your future assessments to get the grade that you want. Remember that the lab instructors have Zoom hours to answer your questions about your labs. Do the lab before you take the quiz on the lab. And you can always check in with a lab instructor just to see if you have a question about one of your answers or if you have a question about a method that's listed on the lab. And of course, for any other questions other than labs, contact me. I'm your instructor, Jerri England.